Marco Dominic Gonzalez. I'm on a rant on the VA, and I'm trying to connect some dots because of some things that have happened to me here, and I'm just going to talk on a train of thought. And I left my last video on, it's like saying that the secretary doesn't care is absolutely, what kind of stick? I mean, that is a very, very disrespectful thing to say, not knowing, does he know that, did he know this problem, or giving him the opportunity to fix it, and then how are you going to fix it, and that kind of thing. So they know the problem, let them go for it and investigate and find out what's the real deal. But anyway, I want to come to, obviously I'm in a very, gosh, man, I'm in a concentration camp, concentration room of my childhood. Ironically, when I first got here, and I've had this conversation with my father and my uncle a couple of times, because they would encourage me to go to the VA. I can go see a doctor there. Mind you, I already had insurance. But then I'm saying, well, why, And I remember I made a statement to both of them. And I remember in the late 80s, 2020, they had a big thing on the VA because what service members, they were going in with something very simple. And they contracted staph and meningitis. And then they would die. And it was a big scandal in the late 80s, I remember, because they did it, was on the paper and everything. And I'm like, well, when I was going to the military, I'm like, well, gosh, man, how they fix those kind of things, But I always recollect that. So I remember when, I'm already having a terrible situation with doctors here. And I remember when I was being encouraged, and I'm like, I just threw it out there. And I'm like, if I'm having this bad of a situation, just going to the doctor out here, imagine what would happen to me there. And I would always throw that out. Now, when I went to the Carusos, there was a heavy set, or really, but it was a person that said that he was a man, but to me, it looked like a very obese woman dressing like a man. It had a feminine voice, in my opinion. It just seemed like a woman was dressing as a man, very heavy. But he identified his name as George, was also encouraging me to go to the VA and saying, you know what, they have a doctor there. I go see a doctor for this, this, and this. And so I thought that, I was trying to say, wait a minute, something's not right here. And then when this story broke, I remember I did a little rant thing on Anderson Cooper's Facebook, and I put it under, and then I'm like, you know what, thank praise God. And I'm like, you know what, it's like my own spirituality saying, do not, it's going to be a problem, you know what I mean, for you. But it's almost, I'm getting too much of encouragement to do that. And my father and my uncle, and again, I don't blame them, I blame who's in charge. Somebody is telling them, tell them to go to the VA, tell them to go get the VA, tell them to go, there's doctor there, that kind of thing. That's who I want to deal with. Who are you? Who's in charge? I only got a minute left on this one. Now at the DES, and I'm trying to remember, you have to look, what is the record? I don't remember exactly when. It was, I believe, around June 2010. I was tired of just sitting around. I said, well, let me try to get a job, and maybe they won't persecute me. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I just don't want to just be hanging out in my room, man. I just want to work. So I filled out, and they said, well, go talk to the VA guys, the VA representative. And I thought, I don't really want to talk to any. He says, but they'll help you get a job. It'll make it easier for you. So I said, well, okay, and I did. I talked to, and I'm gonna end up stopping this video because I'll start another video.